with your hosts, Steve Dangle, Adam Wilde, and
First
Jesse
off, I
Blake.
want to shout out Jesse's coffee mug, which is usually my girlfriend's coffee mug. What does it say on it, Jesse?
It says, I'm kind of possum.
Because it's a cat.
And there's a picture of a cat on it.
It would have been better if it was a possum.
It would have. It would have.
Hold on, I'm going to put
But
on.
who owns a possum? Nobody owns a possum. Do they?
That's very Canadian-centric.
What, a possum?
No, just saying no one owns a possum. You don't know that.
Oh, maybe they do. I feel like owning a possum would be kind of dangerous. They got those big claws and...
I feel like you don't know that Florida exists.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, Florida, they got a lot of stuff.
People own lions and crocodiles, even like a serval. Like
I've seen
those
Tiger King.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
True.
And all of those, all of that stuff, his entire...
Just his entire
Kingdom.
existence.
Yeah.
Based off of owning weird shit.
Can it kill me? I want it. I still haven't seen the second one.
And
Is he still in jail?
Nobody has.
Apparently
Oh,
it
okay.
sucks.
Yeah.
Apparently it sucks. Natalie was telling me, she's like, it's boring.
I
It's
saw
like
the first 2 episodes, and it's more just documentary style where they sit down and they just talk to the people about the outcome of season 1.
Yeah.
It's not
Boo.
illuminating in any way.
Boo, give me a rapid compilation of him committing borderline and actual crimes. Which is what the first one was.
It was so funny for a moment there. People actually felt like, okay, you know what? Maybe this guy's been judged too harshly. And then it's like, he's responsible for the death of at least 17 tigers. Okay, so yeah, no, but put him in jail.
Yeah.
Yeah, put him in jail.
Yeah.
Belongs in jail.
Has
Yes.
he seen the documentary? All right, fair enough. I hadn't seen it put together all in one spot like that.
Season 2 begins with his, I guess, legal counsel and his friends going to the White House to try and get Trump to overturn. They're trying to give him the pardon. Do you remember when that was happening in real time? They're trying to get the pardon for him. That's how season 1 begins, and the season 2. And you sit there and you're like, no, like he doesn't deserve it. Why are they fighting for this? Also, it's not going to get done because this just happened 6 months ago, and we all knew it didn't happen.
Which
He's
is
not
what
out.
made me
So-
think for a time he was going to get out.
Yeah.
Yeah. This man does not deserve to get out of jail. Therefore, he will get out of jail immediately.
Yeah.
This is my decision.
They should have waited a couple of years. Like, let this thing play out. But there also might not be another Tiger King because he's in jail for 20 years. So, like, what's the next step for the story?
Right.
It's done. The story's kind
And
of
I
done.
think that's okay.
Yeah.
I think like we're okay with that, right?
Fine.
We're okay with that.
Yeah, sure.
I don't think we need another Tiger King.
no.
It's time for
no.
somebody else to be a new king of something else. Don't you feel like that?
Yeah.
Mhm.
We don't. I think the Tiger King should be a tiger.
Sure. It
I'd
should go
watch
back
that
to
movie.
that. Certainly. Yeah,
Why?
absolutely.
And he'll live at a place called Rock of Pride. And we need to come up with a copyright.
We're losing the plot on
safe.
this one.
Okay,
Yeah.
you're
Okay.
right.
All right. So today we're really excited because
Yeah?
in a couple of minutes here we've got a huge addition to the show, and we're very excited about this. This is something that we've been working on for a very long time.
It's a fourth host named Poochie
Yeah.
who will join the show in a supporting role in a way that all you cool kids will be able to relate to.
I love that episode of Simpsons.
It's so
very
good.
good.
Poochie's a really good episode.
I want to do this first. I want to shout this out. Jesse, you have this queued up,
Yeah.
right? So last night, and this is what trade season is so much fun. I don't know why you guys don't like this as much as I do. I like when Booth does this. I like when other people do this. When Mr. Booth is probably the king of this.
I think I like it more now that I don't fall for it anymore.
Right. So when you have a fake Twitter account that makes it look like you've broken a trade. So the key here, obviously, is always the blue check mark. But some people have figured out that there's an emoji that sort of looks like a blue check mark, but it's white and it has like a 7 in it. And
Twitter, why?
And at Maple Leafs, at MAPLLEEFS, yesterday put something out that was retweeted 107 times and like 351 times. And it says,
with like Comic Sans font.
yeah, but they made a graphic that looks sort of like the Toronto Maple Leafs graphic, but it's not good.
No.
But I have to respect them for this. It says, we've acquired defenseman Ben Sherratt and a 3rd-round pick from the Canadians for Topi Niemela, Matthew Nyes, and a 1st-round pick this year. And then they even have the link at tml.hockey or whatever. I'm not going to click the link because I don't know what that links to. But it's
That's like solid. Yeah.
It's a really
Veteran
well done tweet. It's exactly in the same cadence that you would expect the Toronto Maple Leafs to do it in, because the Toronto Maple Leafs Twitter account keeps it super boring.
Yep.
And then,
do you also like hockey?
Yeah, 100%. Hey friends, do you like hockey? Here are the Leafs.
Tonight there will be hockey played by your favorite team.
So here's the problem, though. Maybe it fooled you, and you could be forgiven for being fooled. But, it's funny, and it doesn't matter that much, but you sort of can't forgive it showing up on Tampa Bay's local hockey broadcast during the game last night. Have a listen to this.
You look at the Toronto Maple Leafs there. They made another deal here today as the trade deadline to lose on March 21st, getting Ben Sherratt from the Montreal Canadiens, giving up 2 prospects in a first round pick. So you'll see some teams jockeying for position here. Will the Boston Bruins catch Toronto?
So the audio is not great, but you can hear it there.
It's somebody recording their TV.
Yeah,
so that's why it's a little.
So
stop doing that.
By the way, Toppy Niemela, Matthew Nyes, and a 2022 first round pick would be the equivalent of sending 3 first round picks.
I mean,
it's that's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, Niemela was top defenseman at the World Juniors, and
Nyes played in the Olympics and was great.
Yeah.
And then there's the first round pick.
For
Ben Sherratt? No, I don't think so.
No, but it's great because it's essentially like this person handcrafted every Leaf fan's worst nightmare.
All right.
What don't you want to give up in a trade? All right, first round pick. We're playing all the hits. First round pick. Matthew Nyes, Topi Niemela, so we get one of each. Forward and a defenseman. Could have thrown in a goalie, but they went too much.
Mm-hmm.
Too much. So it's the way you put it. Is it like first round picks? Perhaps not, but to Leaf fans it is.
It is. Well, it's our firsters, right?
So with this, there's 2 sides to it.
Okay.
There's the one side that's like, hey, this is really funny. A bunch of people fell for this fake thing. And then the other side that's like, hey, this is kind of mean. People are just trying to do their jobs. And that TikTok sounds, why don't you put this energy into a job or something? It's like the person who went through all this effort, why are you making all this effort to make people look foolish at their job? So I don't know. There's 2 sides. Is this funny, or is it kind of mean to people who are just trying to work in hockey?
Because it's 2022. We've all lived through a lot. It's impossible to buy a house. Fuck it. Make memes. Mm-hmm. That's why. That's why you know what? I used to resent this. Now I don't. I get it.
Yeah.
I like the nihilism of it all.
Okay.
Nihilism.
I think
just keep doing it.
Stop it. I think it's funny.
It's funny.
I think, I mean, God, it's nice to laugh at something. The game has been just terrible news after terrible news mixed in with some hockey and terrible news.
By the way, thank you to everyone who tagged me in that fake Leafs tweet.
Oh, did they tag you?
Yeah, so that I would see it. Well, thank goodness they did too. It's not like it's my job or anything. I might not have seen it,
I enjoyed it.
It's so often Leafs news just sneaks right by me there.
Yep. You were probably halfway through making a video about it.
Halfway. Drew was ready to hit publish. I was like, no, stop.
In actuality, some of the trade proposals out there are starting to get a little ridiculous, don't you think?
Yeah.
Like it's all like whenever you hear a thing like Ben Sherratt for me is a perfect example because Ben Sherratt has a use. He has a role.
Yeah, scoring OT winners.
Woo. Playing with Shea Weber.
Having more goals than any other Leaf defenseman.
Currently?
Yeah.
Right now?
Yeah.
How many does he have?
7.
Get out.
Oh wow.
He scored 2 last night.
Well, we need some shots from the point. Maybe we could use that.
Ben Sherratt?
Sherratt.
No, I saw a lot of Sherratt and Allen trades to the Leafs, like fake ones, or not fake ones, but like proposals like that. You get Allen and Sherratt.
Is Allen even playing yet?
I don't think so.
No.
Reimer's hurt too.
Bummer.
Come back.
I just think the whole idea that the Canadians won't let Ben Sherratt go for less than a first round pick. Well, who do you think said that? Who do you think told the reporter that?
I'm going to go with the Montreal Canadiens.
Interesting. And if you were the Montreal Canadiens, would you do anything differently?
No.
Of course not. Of course not.
No.
So it's getting into silly season. And obviously later on in the show, we're going to have a lot more on some of the trade deadline stuff as it comes to the Leafs because their assistant GM keeps popping up somewhere. I'm not sure if you've seen this. And there's some names being floated around, and of course, some stuff around the league. But what we haven't really, truly seen is the season sort of kick off.
Trade season.
Yeah, like no one's.
It's weird. It's like there was. It seemed like it was about to kick off.
It did, but it's quieted back down again.
You know how sometimes a volcano will just have a fart. And
I don't know volcanoes that well.
No,
I'll be honest with you.
It's one of my many doom scroll favorites. And science, basically, here's how I understand it as a layman. They're like, well, this could just be a fart, or it could be the Earth completely shitting itself and we're all dead. That's usually just a fart. A couple weeks ago, Carter Hutton and Tyler Toffoli, and it's just a fart.
Yeah. I thought that
a fart. The big rumble comes soon.
I kind of thought the Tyler Toffoli thing was going to really get things moving.
Yeah, I mean, it obviously wasn't the thing holding everything up, though. I think now the fun begins behind the scenes because the Habs are able to get to take care of a key piece of business. The other weird thing for the Habs, like, part of me wonders if they're slightly regretting trading Tyler Toffoli, even though they did get, I thought, a very good return for him. Because they are above 500 with Martin St. Louis behind the bench.
Yeah, and all their good players are playing like good players.
Yeah, and despite losing, I think it was the first 4 games. Like, they're just straight up, 3.
I think it was,
they're just straight up fine. Like, they're fine.
Yeah, last night beating Calgary in OT, it was a great game. 5-4. Like, they can score again. They
beat Calgary.
Yeah. It's been an unbelievable run for the Canadians. But one thing CJ was saying about that Toffoli deal and the trade deadline
is that he's getting traded again to the Leafs.
He's getting traded again.
Matthew Nice,
back to Montreal.
First round pick.
It's coming up in like 3 weeks. But CJ was saying how the Toffoli deal, people are a little down on it. But the Montreal Canadiens might have done the right thing because it's a buyer's market. It's not a seller's market because there aren't a lot of teams that can pay the prices that these teams are asking for. So like this first round pick that they're looking for, Sherrod, there's not a lot of teams out there that are willing to pay for the first round pick. Giroux's looking to go. There's not a lot of contenders who are just like, yeah, fucking throw in Giroux. Like Vegas isn't out.
$8 million bucks. Let's go.
Vegas isn't out here to buy all these guys. So like there isn't a lot of, and Colorado doesn't have the space to do it. Toronto's not going to add a big name forward. So getting these deals done earlier might have been the smart thing to do because coming up in these next 3 weeks, there might not be teams to sell to, and you might end up paying below market value.
Aren't you concerned though if you have an 8-hour broadcast?
Oh yeah.
If that happens.
Oh yeah.
Well, if you had an 8-hour broadcast, not naming any names.
Yeah, well,
but
who are you looking at? I'm not going to be on TV.
Wouldn't you be? You're not?
I don't think so.
You've never been.
No.
Yeah.
They had you on for
even
45
when I was
seconds
on,
once.
I wasn't. Like, Adam, who are you looking at? But
I just thought you would have to actually be the one that would go on and make it entertaining while they're filling time and doing tap dance.
Programming an entire day of TV around something that just might not happen is not the best way to program stuff.
But it usually trickles in over the course of weeks. And at very least the week leading up to it. And like the night before is just like my favorite hockey doom scroller is James Duthie. Because he just sort of, the subtext of all his tweets are just, haha, fuck. Hey, there's a trade. Haha, fuck. James Duthie, TSN. But like this year, because of all the reasons you just mentioned and the fact that teams are so incredibly cap strapped because of just the way the last couple of years have gone, does that not make it more likely that the deals will be as close to the deadline as possible?
Maybe.
So that he can get on TV and go, fuck.
Yeah. Look at that. There's something to talk about.
Yeah. Look at that. Like, give him the Gemini right now if he says that on live television. Give him it right now. Fuck. I don't think Dave Amber swears.
So we're very excited to announce a new partnership on the Steve Dangle Podcast and SDPN with Sports Interaction.
Hey.
Now, on the TV beside me is a fellow that you're going to get to know. His name's David Bastel. He's the Sports Interaction betting analyst. He's also a digital host. And David, welcome to the show. We're so excited to have you here.
You know what? Not as excited as I am. And this is going to be awesome, guys. Love your podcast. Love to be part of it. And we're really excited for this. Let's fire this up.
So this partnership's cool because it's going to be every single Friday going into like the rest of the year, right into the summer. The rest of the year. And here's the thing. Jesse's the guy on this show that knows anything about sports gaming. Steve and I know nothing. And so what this is going to do is it's going to help educate Steve and I. And if you're like us and you don't know anything about it either, it's going to help educate you on what you can do, how much fun this can add to the game. And obviously, it's a bit, sometimes it feels like there's a bit of a gatekeeping thing going on there.
Yeah.
So we want to kind of open that door up and let you get to know Sports Interaction and obviously let you get to know David a little bit too. You won't be on every week, but you're going to help us get this thing rolling and talk to people about how to properly bet on hockey, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? There's so many different terms in the betting world. And you know what? We're going to take you through the ABCs, the Sports Interaction 101, so to speak. So we'll start off with a couple easy terms that you guys may have heard of, but kind of wondering, okay, what's the difference between those two bets? We'll teach you everything you need to know. And you know what? By the end of it, you guys might even be beating Jesse at this.
Yeah, well, Alan, you said I'm knowledgeable at sports betting, but like I'm not knowledgeable at losing money.
Okay.
Like that's what I'm good at. So we'll see.
Okay.
Especially when you ask for my advice for some reason.
Yeah.
Actually, you've been very helpful.
Yeah, that's true. I have made you
in the
more
last
than I've
couple of
lost
weeks.
you.
You've been very helpful.
He might be the worst fantasy draft guy of all time
Ever.
but he can help Jesse win some money. So David, let's go through this term because by the way, Sports Interaction's been around since 1997. They've been doing this for a long, long time. Great odds. It's easy to deposit, easy to play, easy to cash out. David, let's go through the first terms. So if I'm brand new to this, which I actually am, what do I need to know first?
Okay, well, we're going to get into more of the numbers side of it next week. So let's go through some of the terms that you're going to know. You guys love all sports, but we're going to be talking NHL right now. So there's 3 significant bets in the NHL, a money line bet, a puck line bet, and of course the over-under. So let's start off with money line. Initials ML. I know it's pretty tricky there.
Ooh, write that down, Adam.
Okay, writing it down. Money line.
Yeah,
money
ML.
line.
Exactly. So what that simply means, guys, is pick a team that wins. It's as easy as that. Leafs and Canucks tomorrow. Do you like the Canucks? Do you like the Leafs? You can bet them on the money line. All they do is have to win. So that's what a money line bet is called. So that's the first. That should be an easy one, Dangle. What do you think?
Leafs. I said it with confidence to Jesse, who stared at me menacingly.
See, this is why, and the Buffalo game earlier this week is the reason why I'm taking Buffalo against the Leafs at Tim Hortons Field. Buffalo's going to beat them. All the bad teams beat the Leafs.
Ooh.
They do.
Interesting.
They got beat by a 40-year-old goaltender again.
Yeah, but this is their, I don't know, was it 3rd or 4th wake-up call of the month? So
Yeah,
they're going to respond and win.
And that's the thing is that Thatcher Demko is actually a good goalie, so the Leafs will bring it against him.
There you go.
Okay, we'll talk about the Saturday schedule. Let's get to the second part. Maybe you're feeling a little more confident and you want to bet the puck line. So puck line is basically hockey's equivalent to a point spread. So odds makers give the advantage to the underdog in the game by giving them a goal and a half. So in other words, if you're betting the Vancouver Canucks on the puck line, they're going to be the underdogs in the game. They're on the road. You'll get a goal and a half. So if the Canucks lose by 1 goal, you still win because you have the goal and a half. However, if you bet the Leafs on the puck line and they only win by 1 goal, you lose because you have to beat by 2 or more goals. So a lot of people will sit there and say, okay, Leafs are going to hammer Buffalo good by 3 or 4 goals. Well, then maybe bet them on the puck line. Right. Maybe not this past week. when you look at situations like that, you get a little more value for your odds too. And of course, the over-under, guys, you guys know this. It's total goals between the 2 teams for the full game. So a lot of times you'll get 5.5 or 6.5. Those are the most common ones. You have to go either over the 6.5 goals, which would be 7, or under, which is 6, of course.
We'll get into like strategies in the coming weeks and all that stuff, but like you bringing up the puck line and that 1.5, the thing that always gets you in close games is the empty net goal.
It does.
When you're betting on the puck line, the 1.5, you always got to be like, okay, if it's going to be a close game, one of these teams is going to get an empty net goal. So that 1 goal lead is actually always a 2 goal lead at the end of the game. And it screws you so often.
So I know we'll talk strategy in a second, but when we talk about that, so you're expecting if you're taking it within a goal and a half of another team, right? Yeah. So that you're expecting there to be a tie basically till late, right? Is that what it is?
It depends on what side of the bet you're on.
Okay.
Yeah,
for sure.
exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
man.
you might predict a blowout. You might take the 1.5 for the Leafs, or you might say they're going to lose and the Canucks are going to lose, but it's going to be a close game. So you might take the 1.5 for the Canucks.
Oh my
And-
goodness. Okay. All
Yeah.
right. All right.
We'll get into that minutia, but
Yeah.
it's fun.
David, I
And
love
here's-
shoulder betting with Jesse because he'll message you like crazy throughout the second period. Third period, he turns into a ghost. Like because he's so nervous. You can tell he's so nervous.
The shoulder betting. I love that. That
Yeah.
should be a term.
Yeah,
Should
yeah,
be. Glossary.
Yeah.
Add
I love
that
it.
to the list.
Yeah. 100%.
Hey, and I should let you guys know something too. So now we know money line, puck line, over under, exclusively for Steve Dangle podcast listeners. We're offering probably the best promotion I've seen at Sports Interaction. So sign up today, grab an account, and we'll match your deposit up to $500. Now, if you look at all the sports books across Canada, you're usually sitting there going, oh, $100, $200. No. $500 to Steve Dangle listeners. It's awesome, guys. And enjoy. And Saturday night, 10 games. Leafs are on the schedule. Lots of Canadian action. I mean, good luck.
So if
I wasn't aware there were other sports books. So
Oh,
I thought,
yeah,
but yes, Jesse, go ahead.
So if I sign up with Sports Interaction, sportsinteraction.com/STP,
Yeah.
I go there and I deposit $500. You guys, Sports
Yes.
Interaction, give me $500 into my account. So that
Not me.
$500 is actually $1,000 out of
Exact-
David's pocket.
Well, I was going to say, not me, Jesse. Because I'm going to have way too many people signing up for this. But you're right. You're right. If you
cool.
deposit 50, you get 100. 200 is 400. The best value, of course, is the 500, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, all of a sudden you have $1,000 there in free bets. I mean, it is a fantastic offer. Trust me, I do this for a living. We scan all our competition. There's not an offer like this, and it's because of guys like you and our excitement for this partnership.
Well, we are extremely pumped for this. But I have a question about this because I think here's the thing about sports betting too, is that so much of it's about pride, right? It's not just about what you win. It's about showing your friends what you've won and how much better and smarter you are, right?
It's like a fish.
But if you sign up for sportsinteraction.com/STP and you do get the extra $500 basically for free here, does it make it more embarrassing when Jesse goes and loses all the $1,000 in the first weekend, David?
It might, but you know what? I'm betting on Jesse. I don't think he does it.
Oh!
I don't think he does it. So-
All right. Well, listen.
Jesse's magical. He only fails when it comes to being an NHL GM.
Yeah.
Hey,
We actually we should
talk
we should talk to Sports Interaction about that at some point. Maybe we can get some NHL 22 bets up on the site.
oh, we get a
There
bet
you
if
go.
I'm going to win the cup or not
Yeah.
in the game.
Yeah. Listen.
Well,
He's never won one, David, just so
No.
you know. So
It's
Sports
okay.
Interaction.
He's only had 10 tries.
sportsinteraction.com/STP. That's sportsinteraction.com/STP. 19 plus. Play responsibly. Your up to $500 matched in free bets. David Bastel, thank you so much for joining us. And we're so excited.
guys.
We'll have you back next week where you can explain more things to us.
I love it. Have a good weekend, guys. Enjoy.
Do we want to talk about the Buffalo game?
I could hear that through the mic. And
Oh, could you?
everybody listening,
Oh,
yeah,
I'm
you
sorry.
took the hockey. He's got the hockey water with the big straw that you squeeze, the squeezy straw.
I am sorry for everyone with misophonia.
I want to ask Liz Knox about this.
What?
why.
Seeing a guy sitting in a chair using a goalie water bottle.
It's not just the goalie water bottle. I wear a cage.
Like, you know how hard she works to have that water
You know-
bottle in her hand?
You know how we put those
and you
clips up
sit
on
here
our-
on your butt?
You know, we put those clips up on our Twitter and stuff like that on the
Yeah.
show. We clip this, tag Liz.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure she's used to disappointing men just
In hockey.
screaming about hockey like they know it. I'm like, oh, Petr Mrázek doesn't know where his goalposts are. If you're a goaltender, tend the goal. To which I'm sure she'd respond, put down that fucking bottle, and also, when I play the puck, I make a positive impact. Where's that shirt? When I play the puck, I make a positive impact.
That could be some Noxie and Cax merch in the
Oh, gosh.
in the store.
You know how hard goalies work, and you hear those stories about they drop like 10 pounds in sweat in one game, and like their reward is like a squirt of that bottle. And Steve's sitting here podcasting on his
Well,
rear end.
And
It's hard.
he might be about to bitch about them too and their performance.
Wow.
I mean, we did not get to talk about the Buffalo game. And Steve, before the game, that day we did a show. That day we did a show.
We did a show.
And during that show, you said, what about Petr Mrázek?
He doesn't know where his goalposts are.
And what happened during the game against Buffalo?
He doesn't know where his goalposts are. He has no idea. I'm going to send the screenshot to Jesse right now. I think I deleted it. It's okay. I'll send it to you in post. People were very upset because Mrázek didn't get any help, which is true. It's true. He didn't. But more than one thing can be true at once. And there are going to be rebounds. He maybe gives up more and better quality ones than other goaltenders, but there are going to be rebounds. Generally speaking, it is best practice as a goaltender that when you give up a rebound that you are in your nets. He doesn't know where his goalposts are.
Why? What happened?
He was flying off to friggin' Narnia. This guy thinks he's a fourth line grinder, just flying into the corners. He doesn't know where his goalposts are. It's amazing. Truly amazing. Because it's funny. I had like Hurricanes fans, Red Wings fans, Flyers fans, because I forgot he was a Flyer for a hot minute. In my mentions, like first time. Oh, there it is. Jesse found it.
He was a Flyer? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
all right,
for
here
like
we go.
5 seconds. But like Adam, look at that shit. Look at that shit.
Oh, I mean,
not a molecule of him is touching the blue paint. And yes, Victor Olofsson is standing there as if at a resort. No Leaf defenseman. No, sorry. You're right. The problem that Steve Dangle is afraid to mention, the Leafs defense. I always give him a pass. You know me.
Did someone accuse you of giving the Leafs defense a pass?
Like, give your head a shake. More than one thing can be true at once.
What if they're both bad?
They're both bad. Listen, the defense had a terrible game in this game. That's the game-winning goal. And he's not in his fucking net for it. It's amazing he's gone as far as he has in his career. Dude had like a .940 save percentage in 12 games last year, but he plays like an AHL tweener. He does.
Some days that's cool because they win.
Some days it's cool. I mean, look at the Habs with a over 500 record with Sam Montembeault and Andrew Hammond somehow. This dude it's a fucking adventure. Watch how many times in a game, if the other team had the puck, it'd be a goal.
Wait, what?
No.
Hold on. Explain that to me.
So there are times where it's blocked or the puck misses the net or blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
His movements, he takes himself completely out of the net. Mm-hmm. Frederik Andersen used to do this at his worst. So it could, honestly, there could be, people are bringing up Steve Briere more and more, the goalie coach. There might be something there.
But Steve Briere could also be credited for how great Jack Campbell was until about December 5th.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So, and it should be mentioned that Petr Mrázek has done this long before he was...
Right. The Flyers and Canes fans and Detroit fans.
The funny thing about the screenshot is that there's no reason for him to be that far.
There's no reason.
There's really no reason for him to push all the way to the side of. And for everybody listening, he's on the outside of the blue paint. His left foot is on the side/back of the goal post, and the goal is going in straight into the.
He's the icing on the cake that is the crease.
Yeah, one goalie messaged me, and it's not like a professional goalie, but someone who played goalie,
a house league goalie. He's 14
at a decently yes.
His name's Caleb.
Listen, a house league goalie who's 14 plays a lot more hockey than any 25, 30-year-old.
That's a good point.
Right
Really good point.
Yeah. But he squares up to the shooter and not the puck, and you're not supposed to.
That was their analysis? Yeah.
Yes.
Interesting.
And there's the shooter at the side of the net.
Mm-hmm.
Except unless the shooter passes it, then you're fucked. Which he was here. It's fucked. He's got a 0% chance of stopping that puck. If you put me in net, I would have had a higher chance of stopping the puck because I would have just sat there.
You would have been in front of the net.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you simply put mass in front of the puck, it
due
doesn't
to
go in.
sheer immobility.
Yes. Is it okay? When
He's so athletic that he screws himself.
Well, and I'm wondering is it Petr Mrázek trying to zip to the side of the net as quickly as he can, but unable to stop himself?
That is a Jonas Gustafsson-ass goalie style that he played. Gustafsson used to do that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Garrett Sparks did that all the time. All the time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I brought him up as like an AHL tweener. We watched Garrett Sparks in the AHL. He was unbeatable.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
But there is a level that's much
It's
different.
The NHL is different than the AHL.
yeah, it's like we also watched him. Okay, they don't ask how, they ask how many. Lie. They don't ask how, they ask how many during the Calder Cup playoffs. How many could apply to Garrett Sparks making an enormous stop against the Utica Comets in Game 5 of their first round series, the deciding game, because it's a best of 5.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Was this the one without his glove where he caught
the
it?
how is without a goddamn glove
Where he caught it with his bare hand?
because his equipment doesn't fit.
Yeah.
This led to a conversation with Julian McKenzie, and I think the least explainable athlete in the NHL over the last decade and a half is Tim Thomas.
Yeah. Good point. He's right.
His style is fuck it, I'll try.
And old.
Didn't come into his own until he was in his 30s. What the hell is that helmet?
Yeah, that was the helmet.
Not a piece of his equipment fit. Not a piece. The glove, blocker, pads, none of them fit. None of them. His style was fuck it, we'll do it live. And he had, I think, a 940 in 25 games en route to a Stanley Cup. Someone, please.
Subwoofer guy.
I'm sorry.
Sorry,
and
subwoofer
also good headphones guy.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
sorry.
it's affecting the people.
Yeah.
I'm
You
sorry.
gotta stop throwing
I
phones.
should stop doing that. No, but it's the least explainable thing. Oh, and then the next year he won a President's Trophy, and then the year after that he fucked off
Yep.
for no good reason. Fucked off.
And then he threatened to come back. I don't know if it's a threat, but he's like, I might come back the next year, and then he just never did.
No, he did. He played with the Florida Panthers. Go look at his.
Yeah,
and
he did.
And he had 3 different teams' pads on, EASHL.
Yeah. It wasn't long though, right? When his Panthers
No, it
stint?
wasn't. Yeah, he was with the Panthers and the Stars.
Oh wow, I don't even remember this story.
And
I don't remember either of those.
he's
That's
the
crazy.
least explainable athlete, a 12th round pick of the Quebec Nordiques, winning a Stanley Cup in 2011. He's so unexplainable. Go back and watch. He in 25 games, he had a 940 save percentage in the Stanley Cup playoffs and a hit. Anyway, it's unexplainable because it shouldn't have worked.
But it did.
It did. Now, part of the reason might have been if there was a rebound, the Boston Bruins would simply beat the shit out of you legally.
Yeah, I mean, that was the Johnny Boychuk in his prime, Zdeno Chara, Dennis Seidenberg,
Adam McQuaid.
That was a tough defensive crew right there.
You would literally.
I mean,
say,
Seidenberg wasn't that tough, but everybody else was.
You would say respectfully, Brad Marchand, don't touch me, and then be beaten up by 5 men
Yeah.
every shift.
And Brad would just skate away. It wouldn't even be Brad that he needed to beat you up.
Yeah, my favorite version of that Bruins team is when Alexei Yamelin, who has never gotten a punch he didn't deserve.
That's so true.
So true.
Such
What a
a
hunk
dick.
of shit on the ice.
Yeah.
And he cross-checked Tyler Seguin right in the unprotected ribs.
Oh.
Complete such a hunk of shit move. Go back and watch this. And Zdeno Chara, very simply, and I this probably didn't help the Bruins, but it did. It made everyone feel better.
Mm-hmm.
He simply stopped what he was doing
Mm-hmm.
and grabbed Alexei Yamelin and beat him until someone stopped him. And it was a moment where I was like, I don't really like the Bruins, but... and it was kind of great. Anyway, so that was a little aside about Tim Thomas. It doesn't make any sense.
Tim Thomas played 40 games for the Panthers.
No, he didn't.
He did.
You made that up.
40 games in the 13-14 season.
You made that up. That's a lie.
That's incredible.
Wow.
You photoshopped that Hockey DB page. I refuse to believe it. So anyway, yeah, Mrázek is like that without the 940 save percentage.
So let me run through some of the defensemen that were playing for Boston at the time. Matt Bartkowski. Remember Matt Bartkowski?
Matt Bartkowski, yep.
Johnny Boychuk.
Yep.
Zdeno Chara, obviously.
Yep.
Andrew Ference, future Oilers captain.
Underrated.
Shane Knighty.
Okay.
Matt Hunwick, who we know well. Thomas Caberlet was on that roster.
Yeah.
The only Bruin to play less than 10 minutes in Game 7 against the Canucks.
No, really?
I love that piece of
His
trivia.
name is on the cup.
It sure is.
Steven Kampfer, who I don't think played a lot that season. Adam McQuaid, Dennis Seidenberg, Mark Stewart.
Man.
Tough.
Hmm.
Tough. Tough group.
Yeah, what if I simply beat the shit out of you?
Yeah. Yep. It's kind of funny. And you look at some of the people on that roster. I forgot this. First off, Blake Wheeler was a young.
What?
He was 24 years old when they won the cup.
He was traded.
Yeah, he was traded.
I forget for who.
Oh, he was traded that season?
He was traded that season. You didn't win the cup with him.
No wonder he's mad all the time.
I know.
Okay. All right.
I'd wear a hat with a wheel on it too. If that happened to
me too. Me too. Do you think his last name's Wheels? Or Wheeler?
I think so.
Anyway, Sean Thornton.
Is there anything better than beating the Leafs? Yeah, it happened in 2011. You just weren't there.
No. Sean Thornton's another tough guy that played for them. Chris Kelly, Milan Lucic, Dennis Paille, and Rich Peverly. Remember Rich Peverly before he had the heart condition? He was amazing. He was a great player.
One of the most ridiculous hockey stories ever. His heart stopped. And
Just
then,
crazy.
He wanted to play the rest of the game.
That is a crazy team.
And
That's
they
a
said,
really good team.
Hey, Rich, maybe not.
Yeah. I'm not sure if you know this or not, but Lawrence Gilman.
So we're just done with the Mrázek talk.
What else you want to say?
You want to talk about Sandin?
Sandin and Rielly, how they're never going to try that again?
How that was such an utter failure?
He's a good defenseman who maybe shouldn't play the right side of
hold
the
on.
top pair.
I got to ask you this. I got a question. This was raised on Twitter. I forget who by. I apologize. This is not my take, but I agree with it. At what point do we start to ask the question, why have we only been able to find one defenseman who can play with Morgan Rielly?
So what's the implication here?
Right.
I don't know.
What are you accusing my client of?
I like Morgan Rielly a lot. So let me just say that. I don't even mind the contract anymore. The guy scored 72 points in a season, whatever. His defensive impacts are bad if you look at some of the stats. But you know what? His offensive impacts are incredible. So it all kind of it's all out in the wash.
That's
right?
why him and Sandin aren't a match.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was weird. But to be fair to Morgan Rielly, 90% of the people they've paired him with were never going to be good anyway.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
listen,
what are you saying?
So elite players make other players around them better.
Mm-hmm.
See?
Mm-hmm. I understand what you're saying.
And I love Morgan Rielly. But it is limiting when you can't bring, like if you had Victor Hedman in that spot, and I know Victor Hedman's the most outsized, ridiculous example because he's one of the best defensemen in the league.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best defensemen ever.
Mm-hmm.
If you put Sandin with him, you would expect that Sandin will play okay. There's very few disasters when Victor Hedman is on the ice. That was a disaster, those two.
Adam, you're a history buff.
Okay.
It's mostly to do with the last few hundred years. But what of the Spartans do you know?
What do you mean?
Well, I saw a movie where the people that they fought rode rhinoceroses, so I choose to believe that's true.
Okay, you believe the movie?
And
the
yes,
300 movie?
that's
Yeah,
what
okay.
happened. No, but this is real. This part is real about the Spartans. Outside of the helmet, and I'm pretty sure the cape was fake, what were the two pieces of equipment they carried into battle?
Spear and shield.
Spear and shield. The Rielly-Sandin pairing is two spears.
So they were pikemen.
It's not good for the phalanx.
Okay.
Rielly spear, Brody shield.
Right.
That's how it works. And
Why did they try this then?
to see if two spears works.
Mm-hmm. It's also it's an opportunity to try it
'Cause it's Buffalo.
You think Buffalo?
Easy 2 points.
Yeah,
Just Buffalo.
yeah. You'd think there's because you have to try an NHL game eventually,
Right, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
if you're gonna try something, and they thought Buffalo was the opportunity.
Yeah. What? Okay. Who are we taking on tonight? The Buffalo Sabres, sire. Ah, well, they came armed with blunt sticks and pebbles and fists.
Mm-hmm.
Surely we can test out the 2-spear technique against the Buffalo Sabres. And they lost.
Oh no, here comes a man named Tage.
Yeah, like, who is? That he looks ridiculous.
He's crazy.
Like,
he's insane right now.
He's always had the physical capabilities to do it. He just never put. It's like Pierre Engvall.
You ever played?
Tage Thompson is what you want. If Pierre Engvall can be 50% of Tage Thompson,
It's playing Threes Eliminator online in NHL 22, and you discover that their center is an Enforcer D, and you're like, ah, fuck.
Yeah. He was Tage was also a winger for the first 4 years that he was in the NHL, and they're like, all right, switch over, move over slightly, and now he's center, and he's unbelievable.
He was trying
wrong.
to, and he's also trying to break into the Blues team that had who at center? They had Bozak, they had Ryan O'Reilly, and they had another one.
He was part of the Ryan O'Reilly trade.
Sorry, yes, but he was still trying to break into that Blues line, which
they
was
had
thick.
a lot.
Mm-hmm.
They had a lot. And and then he was on the Buffalo Sabres, and they had very little. So they were in the wrong direction. But listen, this isn't how every pair works.
Mm-hmm.
It would help if Rielly was. Some defensemen are the spear and the shield.
Yeah, and those defensemen make $10 million a year.
Yeah, he's not that,
He's the spear,
but he's got one of the best spears in the entire league,
without question.
and they learned. Adam, you don't live, or you don't learn, you live. Or
Okay.
however, whatever it is.
Nope.
You know? Is that not how it goes? No? Sometimes you're the spear and sometimes you're the shield.
There you go.
That's better.
That made sense.
Except for when you're Morgan Rielly, when you're always very definitely the spear.
Yeah, he's the spear. And I like, if you're, like, do you even get mad at him in the video session? You're like, listen, I don't know why you got mad at me for doing spear things.
I'm
Like,
the spear man.
I'm the spear guy. Yeah.
Okay.
Why'd you take away my shield?
And I think the Leafs understand that now, especially.
So I guess maybe they were trying to, like, if we have to in the playoffs.
Yeah,
get
this
a
is
goal.
an improvement. I mean, a few years ago, his shield was 38.
Yeah, and a few years ago, the Leafs wouldn't try anything. So when the slightest thing went wrong, they couldn't adjust to things.
They're trying stuff, and like, to me, this is Sheldon Keefe. Babcock did things despite Kyle Dubas.
Yes, he absolutely did.
He did.
Bold statement.
Fine, I'm gonna put stupid fucking Nick Petan at stupid fucking center, and I'm gonna watch it stupid fucking fail. It's like he threw a game despite his GM.
And then Nick Petan ended his career.
And then, hilariously, but that game against the Canucks, I still remember it. The Nick Petan was at center, fourth line center. He was a principal part of the Leafs blowing, I believe it was a 2-0 lead. The Leafs had not lost a game that season where they led going into the third period, and they lost that one. And Josh Levo got, I believe, the game-tying goal. Fuck! So, Sheldon Keefe, recently, kind of been doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
A little bit. Like, with his lineup decision, I'm sure it's a collaborative effort with him and Dubas. So I'm sure it's less him spiting him, and it's more, well, what if we tried this? And what if we tried that?
Mm-hmm.
And it's the old ice cream conversation with me. I'm at summer camp again. For those of you who haven't heard the story, the Dickie D man, the ice cream man, would come to my summer camp every day just before our parents came to pick us up. The chocolate baseball glove with a bubblegum baseball was $2 flat. $2 flat.
So good.
And I'd rummage through my pockets and I would have $1.50. And I would put the loonie on the bottom and a couple quarters, or maybe the next day it'd be a bunch of nickels and dimes, and I would, no matter how I arranged the $1.50, I couldn't make it $2. The Leafs defense is $1.50. And for the last few weeks, Sheldon Keefe has been going, okay, I'll put Liljegren here and Hall here and this, that. But it's like that, but if I lost the dollar.
Because Jake Muzzin?
Because Jake Muzzin's out. So now I got 50. So
because Riley Brody's been great all year.
Yeah. What he's doing with they're learning. And what they're learning is fuck.
Well,
that's what they're learning.
And before they make a trade, they may as well learn.
They may as well learn. The one thing Keefe has been doing where I'm like, what on earth is the point of any of this, is playing Nick Robertson like 4 seconds a game. And I was reading on Jonas Siegel's Twitter account that supposedly he's going to play with JT and Willie tonight.
Oh, fun. You may as well try.
Tomorrow, sorry. So we'll see how that goes.
The Rielly Sandin thing, as much as I wanted to be in the arena and boo the team because of Sandin's play and the rest of the team's play and their lack of effort, I'm happy they tried it at this point, at this junction.
Sure.
Because going back to what you were just saying about Babcock, I remember a Mike Babcock team that was on the verge of elimination, and all of a sudden, in the middle of the playoffs, he decides, hey, tonight's the night I'm going to try our left winger, William Nylander, at center. And that's the first time all year I'm going to try this new thing out.
Sheldon Keefe did the same thing.
This is the time for this. And I'm happy that they're doing it now, and we're not waiting until game 5 of the elimination, game 7, that we're trying these new things out. It didn't make sense. Now's the time. Do it and fail. So in the playoffs, you know what works and what doesn't. We're not trying Rielly Sandin for the first time in game 6 of the playoffs versus Boston.
Yeah, game 5 against the Blue Jackets even, and this was Keefe. All right. So we had a miraculous comeback in game 4. We don't even deserve to be here, but we're here. What should we do? Well, we appear to be having a hard time scoring at 5-on-5. Oh, yeah, that's right. When was our last 5-on-5 goal? That would be game 3 when we had a 3-0 lead. Oh, okay. Who scored that goal? It was Nick Robertson, sir. Okay, cool. Well, what we're going to do is scratch him for a guy who hasn't played in many months. That's what they did. They scratched Robertson for Andreas Janssen. Boo. Boo tomato. They should have never done that. And I hated it at the time, and I hate it now. But they wanted to give Janssen his last game as a Leaf, which it was. So cool. Way to yard sale an entire season to be a good guy.
Yeah, that was a weird one.
It was a weird one.
They have a history of making weird lineup decisions when the season is on the line.
So make them
don't
now.
do that.
I liked Jared Bednar a week or two ago. Made a weird. He put like Andre Burakovsky on the top line, and a reporter was like, "Hey, why?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't know. In the playoffs, you're going to run into weird situations, so I wanted to see what we got."
That's cool. Okay, so maybe that's what's going on.
I just out and out say it.
If you like socks, you should try these ones. Stance socks. We're fans. How can you not love them? They're versatile. They're colorful. They make great gifts too. But did you not hear that Stance is now expanding outside of just the socks game? Now they have full active apparel lines. Their new products include sweatpants, joggers, hoodies, and more. And the best part about it is all of the clothing has stayed true to Stance's unique qualities. So if you've enjoyed the comfort and creativity of Stance in the past, you're not going to believe what Stance has in store for you now. It's not just socks anymore. It's comfort. It's lovely creativity. It's stitched different. Embrace a life of superior comfort and creative expression with everyday apparel that truly is, as I said, stitched different. Check out Stance's super soft line of sweatpants and joggers, shirts, hoodies, hats, and more. Now available in a full range of fits, prints, fabrics, and fun. So check this out. Stance's philosophy is you should never have to sacrifice your own individual style for the sake of comfort, and you don't have to now. Whether you're relaxing around the house, working out at the gym, or running all over the town, Stance now delivers its signature softness and creativity in a full line of active apparel from head to toe. Stance has got you covered. Head on over to stance.com and get 15% off your first purchase. Just use the code TSS at checkout to apply. Enjoy the color and comfort of a life less ordinary with Stance. Stitch different. This month, BetterHelp Online Therapy wants to remind you to take care of the most important relationship in your life, the one you have with yourself. Whether it's hitting the gym or making time for a haircut or even trying therapy, you are your own greatest asset. So invest the time and effort into yourself like you do for other people. Here's the thing. I've been going to therapy for years. It's been tremendously helpful. And BetterHelp Online Therapy offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist. So you don't actually have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. And the best part about it is it's a lot more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. Give it a try and see why over 2 million people have used BetterHelp Online Therapy. And this podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and Steve Dangle Podcast listeners, that's you, get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/SDP. That's BETTERHELP.com/SDP.
All right, now I'm going to talk about Lawrence Gilman being at back-to-back fucking Canucks games. Can I talk about that?
Getting back to Petr Mrázek.
No, yeah. So here are the players that apparently, they've done their due diligence on JT Miller. The JT Miller cost is high. JT Miller's got a couple years left. He's a left winger. Luke Schen's name has popped up, but I don't know if it's popped up in rumors or it's popped up in, hey, his defensive impacts are fine and you could probably get him for nothing.
I believe Frege has brought him up.
Has Frege brought him up?
I
Okay,
think
it's
so.
hard to know at this point.
Yeah.
And who's to know? Vancouver really doesn't want to trade JT Miller, so you'd have to wow them to move them.
Yes.
A couple players they are interested in trading. Unfortunately, both of them are right wingers. Brock Besser and Connor Garland. They could be moved, and the price would be a lot less. Now, Besser's deal's up at the end of the year. He is an RFA. Garland, I believe, has a couple more years. They've both scored about 31 points this year in about 50 games.
I think Garland's got a lot more years.
Does he?
Yeah.
How hard is it to get one of those two to play left wing?
I think
'Cause
Garland
it's-
plays both.
Does he? Okay.
I think he does.
Garland signed till infinity, 2026 offseason.
I have a
He's
feeling the Leafs
UFA.
probably won't want to do that.
Yeah,
How much?
4.95.
You know.
They can't fit that.
Right. Yeah.
Garland does play, according to Cap Friendly, he plays right and left. So there you go.
Right. Yeah.
Someone, I don't remember who it was, made a list of, it's like top 10 Leafs trade targets. And I was like, almost all of these are boring. Perfect. Because it was the most realistic list I had seen. Let me try to find it. Because, all this, Besser and Miller and Garland and what? I know it's legal and everything, but lay off.
What? No, I like this.
No, it's great and everything. Listen, I also love to dream.
I think it's going to be, to me, I still think it's going to be somebody we're not hearing about, so it makes me not the Canucks. I think it's going to be like a Justin Braun type. Boring, good defensive impacts, not much else. I would like to see them make an actual splash, though. Be honest with you.
Oh, sure.
Like, to be honest, look, they may have lost the game in Buffalo, and that's frustrating or whatever. Goaltending's not been great lately. I feel like the goaltenders can figure it out. If there was ever a time, do you remember the season when the Leafs surprised everybody and then they actually spent at the trade deadline because Matthews, Marner, Nylander, all better than we thought, and they were in contention for a playoff spot and they needed somebody on the fourth line who could play actual hockey, so they got Dan Boyle.
This is
Or
Washington.
not Dan Boyle. I'm sorry.
Brian
Boyle.
Washington year, right?
Washington year. Yeah, they spent a second round pick on him. That was like, whoa.
Yeah.
And they got him. And Brian Boyle did not score a goal, but that's okay. He was big.
And he set up the
Kasperi Kapanen goal.
the game 2 winner, which was enough.
And
Give me one memory.
they did that because they said the team deserved to be rewarded, right? They deserve to be rewarded.
Yes.
Do you not think of all the teams there have been since then that this team above all deserves a big reward? Muzzin, as you said, won't be held back.
wink,
Wink, nudge, nudge.
Wink, wink.
Okay. So they're going to have, everyone's like, wow, they got $2 million in cap space to play with. Yeah, okay, sure.
Mhm.
You think the Leafs aren't going to do everything they possibly can to win? Come on.
Yeah.
And if they don't, like, if they let Muzzin play another game, I'm going to be mad.
Yeah, the team that does like 106 call-ups a year isn't going to try any cap shenanigans.
Mhm.
Come
They-
on.
Matt Holloway got called.
Yeah,
up
they
today.
called
Yeah.
Like-
Who?
He's a good AHL defenseman. He's turned into a good draft pick,
Right.
Mac Hollowell. But it's not a thing where, like, of all the teams, this team deserves the big splash. So I feel like, everybody's making it out to be about maybe it's a boring trade deadline for the Leafs. So when is it not going to be? This is the time. It's like with the Oilers, right? Last year, we can't go spend big at the trade deadline every year. Okay, well, Connor and Leon are like 24, 25 years old now. Ken. So when are you going to do that? When does that become the priority? When does that become the thing you want to do? Now, turns out that firing their head coach was one of the best things they ever did. Woodcroft has done a great job. The team looks incredible. Leafs aren't going to fire Keefe, and they shouldn't. So what else are you going to do? Very clearly the Leafs need to make a change on defense. I think the goalies figure it out. What better time than right now to go out and get somebody big and maybe get a package? What was it? Hagel was a name out
Brandon
there?
Hagel.
Brandon Hagel.
He's going to cost a fortune. But, like, he fits a lot of Leaf needs. Could play at the top 6.
And if
He's
you got
young,
Brandon Hagel now, you've got him next year as well.
term.
Yeah.
Yep.
So and then you find a defenseman in the same thing. Like, listen, if they don't draft at this year's draft, but they win, even if they got to the third round, is anybody going to be upset? No. Who cares?
I mean,
Scott Wheeler, with respect, I love you, Scott. Yeah. Scott Wheeler's going to be pissed.
Oh, yeah. But his draft rankings are going to tank. Nobody's clicked the article. If the Leafs aren't in it, nobody's clicking that article. Who will the Leafs draft
with our third round pick?
No,
Scott's
can't do that. Yeah.
All this work.
I was of the opinion just like a couple weeks ago that like, hey, you don't mortgage the entire future for just to get Nick Foligno. You know, like I didn't like the Nick Foligno trade because like I thought you could get Taylor Hall. I thought there's better decisions you could make. But like I've been thinking about it, and I'm on your side now, Adam. Just go for it. If you just said if they get to the third round, no. If they won one round this season, who gives a shit about a first round pick?
Every person.
Who cares?
Most college age people listening to this have been faced with this GM situation, and it's at the bar, and you're taking a shot, and what you're doing is you're in trade talks with the bar, and they offer you 1, 2, and 3 a.m. in exchange for 10, 11, and 12 p.m. Right? What you're doing is trading a good time tonight for a bad time tomorrow.
Sure.
Yeah.
But you know what? It was fun. There have been a bunch of times, again, I've used this term several times this show. I've woken up and gone, fuck.
Mm-hmm. You're like, I wish I got in that Uber at midnight.
And I genuinely meant both parts of that sentence. The and fuck. Mm-hmm. But, you know, the made the fuck worth it.
Mm-hmm. I just
I'm
think
a poet.
Like, eventually,
I'm Shakespeare.
You're a man with words. Eventually, they just need to just go for it. Mortgage the future. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they win one round. None of that first, second, third round pick doesn't matter. If they win the one round, that's all. That's what counts. This year, that's what counts.
They need to. The cap situation really makes it so that they have no choice but to get creative, in my opinion. So, you know, any trade that has prospect going out the door, guy coming in, I don't think is what the Leafs are looking at, because I don't think they can do it.
But does it help them win one round?
It does, but I don't think they can do it.
Yeah.
Like, what are they going to go into, like, cap penalty next year?
The Muzzin deal definitely helps it. The Muzzin deal's like $4 million.
I need everyone to be ready for a trade you have not thought of to present itself. I still think, I promise I don't have an inside track on this. I have an inkling it's Seattle.
The Leafs.
Yep, it's too quiet.
You think Giordano?
I think he's involved. I definitely think he's involved.
I'd love to see him stay for a couple of years. He's great.
Yeah, I think they have that discussion anyway. Because Muzzin's out, they can potentially afford it. And that could be one of those situations where, okay, name Tampa's left side. I can do it right away.
I just don't.
Okay, I pay freakish attention. Hedman, McDonough, Sergachev.
Okay.
Stupid. Name their rights.
Who cares?
Name any other Tampa defenseman.
Dan, what was his name? Who was terrible on the Rangers, and then he signed at Tampa, and all of a sudden everyone's like, hey, he's actually pretty good because he's playing with the left side of Tampa's defense. Dan Girardi.
Oh.
That's it. Won a cup.
Alan Walsh client, Jan Ruda.
Yeah.
Eric Cernak.
Yeah.
Zach Bogosian's there now. But like, so what the Leafs are faced with, here's why like a guy like Giordano can make some sense, especially if Muzzin comes back, is what are you really going to completely redo the right side? Or do you make the left side so fucking good that the right side doesn't matter?
And Giordano's a lefty.
Yes.
I like that.
I think he has
Andre
played on the
Schuster,
right.
by the way.
Schuster. I forgot about Schuster.
Third pair right D for Tampa.
So Bogosian is not playing right
now.
now.
I thought Giordano played right side defense in Calgary at least.
I think he's done both.
Okay.
I believe he's done both. But he makes some
So that's interesting. That's an interesting strategy.
Yeah. There's that Carson Soucy guy. They have a bunch of extra defensemen they're just basically holding on to for no good reason.
Yeah.
I think Dubas is generally creative. I think Brandon Pridham looks at the Seattle Kraken's cap space and goes, that looks like a fun playground. I would like to play on that, please. I think there's something there. And it's going to be delightfully nerdy and boring.
Mm-hmm.
But it'll ultimately help you.
Just go for it. Don't hold on to that first round pick. If that's what required to get you that defenseman from Seattle, send it.
Here's the solution to the Leafs' defense problems. Jared McCann.
Put
him right there. Put him there.
Oh
Chara
my God.
on wing, McCann on D. Let it ride. Go.
Okay. Well, you know what? With that, why don't we do the press conference?
What are we?
Let's do it.
You like talked on fast forward. No.
The Presser. SDP. The Steve Dangle Press Conference.
Ooh, I want to mention this. Two things. One, I got a stream tonight at 6 o'clock Eastern time.
You won a cup yet?
No, haven't won the cup. This is my 7th year, but we think we figured it out. So
Yeah?
me and the crab people, we think we figured it out. So we've been simming incorrectly because our team is always good in the regular season. For 4 straight years, we finished second in the entire league. We haven't won a President's Trophy. We're always just short of because the Blackhawks always win the President's Trophy.
So dumb.
So we're always the second best team in the league. So we've built a great team. But in the playoffs, we always fail. Like, because we're the Leafs, and that's what happens. But we think we've been simming incorrectly because when we get to the playoffs, we start watching the games. We set CPU versus CPU, and then we watch the games, and we have a good time. But the sim engine that EA has in the game for the CPU versus CPU team is different than when you're on the calendar and just simming the game.
How did you find this out?
So a lot of the comments we've been talking, and this season that we've been simming the games, and this playoff round, the first round, we've already played through playoff round number 1. We're in round number 2. We killed the Penguins. Like, it shouldn't even been close. We're the 1 seed. They're the 8 seed. And we killed them. So we're that, and we used the calendar to sim. We didn't watch any of the games. We didn't sim it in the sim game mode either. We just used the calendar. So we think this playoffs, I'm going to sim through the calendar throughout the entire playoffs until we get Stanley Cup final, until there's like elimination game.
Oh, Jesse!
And we're going to see if that is truly how you get a true sim.
But what
where
if it works?
Then that's good.
No, that's not good.
But then you're going to watch the elimination games and lose.
No, hopefully we're up enough in the Stanley Cup final. Hopefully we make it to the Stanley Cup final. We're up enough that we can watch the game and hopefully win one of those.
You know,
Can I
the
throw
Sens would be
something out
blowing a
there?
3-0
I
lead.
sincerely hope that EA did not set it up that way.
Yeah, because, oh my God, it's so frustrating.
Because that makes it worse. Why would you watch ever?
The last, 4 playoffs, Rielly will have the puck, and he just needs to exit the zone, and he'll skate to the boards.
They love a loop back. They love a loop back.
But when you're just simming the game, it'll be attributes versus attributes, team chemistry versus team chemistry, mushed together, and they give you a result. So when you sim in the game and you watch it, there's all these quirky things that the CPU characters are doing that are just not true to the team that you've built as a GM.
They don't make sense.
Yeah, they just don't make sense. So this is a more true sim if we do it in the calendar, and we're going to try this playoff run. It's year number 7 of our franchise mode, and we're going to see if this calendar sim is a more true result. And the true result should be that we win the cup, let's be honest.
Oh, let's be honest. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
I hope it's not different.
It is. I think I have enough evidence over the 20 episodes of this series that I've done that are up on YouTube that,
But why make it that
up.
way? Why would they make it that way?
Watching the games is different.
E.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm
Anyways.
excited for that, Jesse.
So,
I am excited for
I'll
that.
let you guys know if we make it Stanley Cup final, and then we'll
But
watch. that game.
if you did win, it would be sad because then I can't give you hell for not winning. But you know what? I think it'll be more fun to be like, I feel like if you do win, I'm just going to say, yeah, well, watch your way to the cup.
Oh,
That's the real challenge.
What's the Steve Simmons line?
What?
The day after the Leafs win the cup?
Oh, he's gonna write an article on why they won't ever win one again, or the next year. That will be the easy one to do. If you're a contrarian, Leafs win the cup. The next day, you write an article why they can't do it again the next year. And chances are you'll be right because it's fucking hard to win. Sorry,
Gentlemen, it's almost time for spring, which means spring cleaning. You know what I'm talking about, right? 4 million men worldwide trust Manscaped, the leaders in below-the-waist grooming, and get in on our exclusive offer. They sponsor the show, and they're going to sponsor cleanliness below the belt for you with an exclusive offer. Go to manscaped.com. Use that code DANGLE for 20% off and free shipping. The package, which we know already has the trimmer and the skin safe technology and the 4000K LED light. This package also includes the Weed Whacker. It's a nose and ear trimmer to whack all the worst of your weeds. And I'm not going to lie to you. I had a moment the other day with my girlfriend, and she said to me, you probably need to cut your ear hair, trim your ear hair. I'm 33 years old. It's already happening. But thanks to Manscaped, I'm not worried about that. Manscaped even threw in 2 free gifts: the travel bag and the anti-chafing boxer briefs to keep the boys stored comfortably. So use that promo code DANGLE. You got to get in on this. Manscaped.com. Use the code DANGLE, 20% off and free shipping. You cannot miss out on this. Let's talk about Athletic Greens. If you're looking to get better gut health, more energy, and a stronger immune system in a really easy, natural way, you got to check out Athletic Greens. I'm sure you'll agree that most of us are not huge fans of having to take a bunch of pills, vitamins, etc. in the morning. But with Athletic Greens, you can get rid of all the vitamin pill bottles and finally make some room in your cabinet and do better things for your gut. It's really important. Athletic Greens is an all-in-one solution that actually tastes good, and you'll enjoy getting your daily vitamins. And remember, it's keto, paleo, dairy-free, vegan, and gluten-free. So whatever you eat, however you eat, Athletic Greens can work for you. It contains less than a gram of sugar, no GMOs, no nasty chemicals or artificial anything. It still tastes good. It's really important. Let me just drive that point home. It tastes really good. You should have Athletic Greens. Use the promo code SDP. So to make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you 1 free year supply of immune-boosting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs for your first purchase. All you have to do is go to athleticgreens.com/SDP. Again, athleticgreens.com/SDP. Take ownership of your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance.
Sports interaction. I beat you to it.
Sports betting is the first line of the script, though.
Oh.
Okay, so sports betting. It's on everyone's mind, and
Sports interaction
is Canada's sportsbook.
I got it.
Before the game starts, live in play or how your favorite team will perform. Canada plays at SIA, doing it right since 1997. With the most competitive odds, Sports Interaction makes it easy to deposit, play, and cash out.
What does the A stand for?
Sports Interaction.
Oh, that's smart. It was like this.
Should we run this in the commercial? I don't want them to know that it took us a little bit of time to figure that out.
I think that's a question everybody would have had.
Okay, well, now you know. So with the most competitive odds, as I told you, Sports Interaction makes it easy to deposit, play, and cash out. Join now, and we'll match your deposit. That's right, we, as in me, because it's my money.
Personally.
It's not. We'll match your deposit up to $500 in free bets.
500?
That's right.
0, 0? That's 200 more than the movie. That much?
$500 in free bets will be matched. You go to sportsinteraction.com/SDP. What does SDP stand for, since we figured out SIA, gentlemen?
Steve Dangle Sports Interaction.
Steve Dangle Podcast. Again, it's sportsinteraction.com/SDP. 19 plus. Please play responsibly.
Can I bring a quick press conference topic to the table?
Yeah, of course. Go.
This comes from Andrew Raycroft on Twitter.
Oh, no.
Andrew Hammond and Thomas Nosek got tribute videos this week in the NHL.
What?
Enough is enough.
Come on.
What a dick.
Yo, you know what? Ken Reed's been talking about that on Sportsnet. I feel like we've jumped the shark with that a bit.
It's for the fans. It's for the...
But don't you think it takes away from the special? Like if Andrew Hammond had a good half season in Ottawa, where he got McDonald's for life. He was that good.
Yeah, he did.
You know who deserves...
He was so ridiculous.
You know who deserves a video tribute when he gets traded? Claude Giroux.
Yeah.
1,000 games with the Flyers.
Yeah.
March 17th is when he's going to play his 1,000th game. If you're doing a video tribute for guy who came over now. Whoa, sorry. guy who came and won a few games once. That still doesn't sound any better. I don't know why I said came.
It's okay. It's not like there's a bunch of accounts that cut and splice everything we say.
I'm dead. No! Can we delete this, or is it in there?
Absolutely not.
Shit. If you have a guy who's played like really 20 or 30 good games for you, it's Andrew Hammond. Do we really need a video tribute?
My only question is, who's it hurting? Like,
Yeah.
why are you so bitter? Are
I
you
just
getting-
feel like it's taking the
is-
special away.
Is
Don't
the,
you think
is
it's taking,
the
I'm not
video
bitter.
board running a little thing graphic hurting you?
Here's the first ever video tribute complaint I ever heard as a fan.
Okay.
It was Darcy Tucker, who absolutely deserved
I
one.
thought he deserved. Yeah, I think he deserves one.
But here's why. Here's where the complaint started, and this is where it started to go downhill. This was years and years ago. This is like right around when I started LFR. Leafs had to buy him out, I believe. He's with the Avalanche. Avalanche are about to go to the power play. They play a tribute, and Darcy Tucker scores.
Okay, that's super dumb,
That's
though.
bad timing.
You know what? The
It's
Leafs,
just bad timing. He deserved one,
the
though.
Leafs
Yeah.
in-arena crew is way better, and they would never do that now. Way better now.
I think they have, well, I know they have, like I've seen the rundowns. They have, okay, this is when we're putting the Darcy Tucker video tribute.
Yeah.
They don't know that there's going to be a power play. I would argue they should have maybe altered it a bit,
Mm-hmm.
or just, I don't know, fuck it, do it.
My only thing is, like, it's just a good way to show to the player, hey, we liked you at our franchise. Like, thank you for your service.
Okay, fine.
You know, it's
Yeah,
not
fine.
Ray
All right.
Croft. It's not hurting anybody that they're like, hey, we like you, Andrew Hammond.
I still think
Thanks."
that's jumping the shark, but okay.
Is that
All right.
is saying thanks bad now? We got to throw thanks out with the bath water.
I mean, and Thomas Nosek, like, was it Vegas? Because that's the nicest thing Vegas has done for any player. Like, that's all I get. Good luck. No, I don't remember saying good luck. That's Vegas when they get rid of you, or wherever is he? I don't know where he is anymore because it's Thomas Nosek.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Yeah, I
you know,
don't-
maybe the fans of that team care.
You don't even know what team Thomas Nosek plays for.
No, I think.
And you're telling me, well, what's your problem with saying thank you?
yeah,
You could just call him and say thank you, Thomas.
yeah, but it's like how the All-Star game sucks, but it's great if you're there.
Is it? You sat next to the cannon. Was it great?
You know what? No.
Okay, I'm just throwing that out there.
Here's where it's not great, is if the fans at that game are like, who fucking cares? Which might have been what happened. I think Nosek.
Are you trying to think of where?
Yeah,
he
I'm
plays?
trying to think. Never mind. Fuck it.
I could just look it up.
No,
Here.
no, don't.
I want-
no,
Go
don't,
ahead, Adam.
Don't. We gotta.
We
No.
have an answer.
No, we don't.
Take it. Take a guess. Take a guess. No, don't look.
Okay, I
What
saw
the
that he was
fuck?
drafted by the Bruins, which I didn't know, so I'm already screwed. Oh wait, no, he's on the Bruins.
You fucked it up.
I fucked it up.
You looked at the screen.
All right, let's
Sorry.
keep going.
Okay. Steve, this is from Arkel the Great on our Discord. Head over to discord.com, discord.gg/SDPN to join our Discord.
Friend of
We have a
Kyle
link.
Dubas.
Career high in goals for Thomas Nosek is 8.
That's more than I thought.
Oh.
Anyway, keep going.
SDPNshop.ca for all your merch. Is John Cooper Steve's favorite coach now that he got thrown out of a game for yelling at social media star Wes McCauley?
No, because I don't know what he said.
Oh.
Also, can I just express my shock and horror that a game reffed by Brad Meyer got out of hand?
What happened, Steve?
Remind
Wes-
everybody who Brad Meyer
Wes
is.
McCauley's not even my least favorite ref in that game. No, Brad Meyer is the guy who was in charge of the Leafs Jets debacle at the beginning of this season and many other debacles because he's not that good at his job. And a lot of games that he officiates tend to get out of hand because he's not good at his job.
Okay.
And last night he wasn't good at his job and he got yelled at. I don't know what John Cooper said. This is not an endorsed. No, I refuse to endorse John Cooper. I don't know what he said, and the league is reviewing it. The league is actually reviewing 2 incidents of abuse against officials from yesterday. John Cooper and Austin Watson. So, yeah, I appreciate where you're going with that. I can't do it.
Yeah, I get that makes
It
sense.
might come out that it's hilarious, but it hasn't yet, so I'm going to wait.
This one's from Noodleman1510. It's going to be a quick answer. Hypothetical 6-on-5 empty net situation. And the team with 5 is Steve, Adam, Jesse, CJ, and Julian.
Okay.
Fuck.
The team with 6 is any team in the NHL.
Fuck.
You get unlimited time to score on the empty net and unlimited timeouts between plays for rest. And assuming the other team is trying to score and not just playing keep away. How long does it take for your team to score? How long does it take to get the puck onto your stick and up the ice into the empty net?
I don't know if we ever get there.
So wait.
That's the correct
There's
answer.
6 of us?
No, it's 6 on 5. So they have an empty net, the NHL team. So there's 5 of us. We have a goal.
For fun's sakes, take the best five players in the NHL. McDavid, Matthews, McKinnon, Leon Draisaitl, and whoever else you want to put
on
in
defense.
And
Put Makar and
Hedman.
Yeah.
The 5 players are us 3 and
Julian and CJ. And we have
Okay.
to score an empty net goal on these 6 guys.
I don't know Julian's skating ability. I've never seen him. I know yours.
Yeah.
I know mine. I know Adam's.
We're not scoring.
You and CJ have to play up front.
We're not scoring.
You and CJ have to chase.
Steve,
not gonna score.
Steve,
Jesse and I play in front.
I appreciate you doing this. We're not touching
yeah,
the puck.
yeah,
Yeah, but we can try.
Steve,
We can try.
It's not going to happen, man. It's just we're not going to score.
If you gave us 100 years on this earth, we wouldn't touch the puck.
Yeah.
How much time is left?
It's unlimited
it says
time.
we have unlimited time.
Oh, because my strategy was to take penalties.
Against us?
No, because if there's only, if we had to kill, 30 seconds, I think it would make sense to take a tripping minor.
We have to score is the point.
Oh, we have to score.
What are you trying to...
No, but why? It's 6 on 5. We're winning.
Hold on, what I love
No,
about this.
it's not about winning. We're not playing a game. The goal is just score in the
It's
empty
just a
net.
drill, man.
Oh,
We're just
well,
doing
then
a
we're
drill, man.
Oh,
Then we're
Jesus.
fine. Oh my god, every detail about that Steve got wrong, and it was so funny. And he's like, "What about if we did this?" Well, we can't because that's not the scenario. What about this? No, that's not the scenario either.
Well, what if we made a trade? Mid-game.
Steve drinking out of his water bottle with a big old
Think
straw.
about
in it. Jesse is like,
Who's our goalie?
Thanks for
Jesse,
coming.
Who's
your
our goalie?
biggest
Thanks for
mistake
coming.
was saying this will be a short answer. That
Oh,
was your biggest
God.
mistake. You
Yeah.
should have never said
You
that.
dumbass. You just get here. Noxie in net.
Yeah, Noxie and net for sure. Then we'd have a chance.
Yeah.
There you go.
Let's do Nox.
So we got a chance. So I guess
All right.
just give a clear lane. Here's my strategy.
This is going to be a short answer. Because
Okay.
it's very simple. We're not going to touch the puck.
Here's what it is. Let them shoot. Noxie stops it. She tries to score.
A goalie goal. There was a
Yeah.
goalie goal the other night.
We just got to give her as much protection as possible and let her shoot.
Last thing before we run out of time here. Adam, you had a fantastic interview with someone very close to the network.
Oh,
You and Alan Walsh
Yeah.
sat down with an incredible broadcaster. I want you to talk about what you talked about and how good the last episode of Agent Provocateur
Keith
is.
Olbermann.
Yeah, someone who I think you referred to as a known asshole.
I think honestly, he even sort of acknowledges at the end of the show. He kind of, Alan's like, "Oh, what you like to talk about yourself?" He's like, "I know, isn't that surprising? Me talking about me."
Keith is very self-aware.
He's a self-aware, and I think
what's better than a dick who
knows they're a dick.
knows he's a dick and does nothing about it.
He's, you know what? It was one of the most incredible interviews I've ever done.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked 2 questions. First off, Keith Olbermann can spin a yarn, man. Boy, he can tell a story. Second, the knowledge that he has about baseball. And, I know there's a lot of people that don't like baseball. I actually love baseball. I find baseball very romantic.
Yes.
And, when the 3 of us got to sit, I always talk about going to Boston and watching the game in Boston when it was fucking ice cold. But what a great day that was with my best friends in the entire world.
We did a lap around Fenway Park, and I'll never forget that.
And some Bruins fans met us on top of the Green Monster, and they were chatting it up, and it's going to be, they were having fun. And
Pesky's pole.
Pesky's
We were on the
pole.
other
Oh yeah,
side.
we're on the other side.
We didn't do the top of the green.
Oh, we didn't do the top of the
Yeah,
green.
because you got to have tickets to get up.
Pesky's pole was great. I have to say that both can be true. we can, and I'll point to myself on this one. I can be a bit high horsey. I can be a bit blowhardy. But the reality is sometimes I'm good at what I do. And Keith Olbermann was, and he came on, he brought his fucking A game. Holy shit. And boy, does it explain what's going on with the MLB right now. And if you're a fan of baseball in any sense, you got to hear this show, because baseball owners basically every 30 years on repeat try to do the same thing. And now they can't get the genie back in the bottle.
And they only wait for a Canadian team to have a really good shot at winning.
Yes.
Before they do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, shit.
Yeah. And so I encourage you to listen, because it was spectacular. It was a great listen. It being on the show, it was a great listen. I'm just sitting there listening. And there were some really great moments in there. I highly, highly, highly encourage you. And you know what? We talk a lot about collective bargaining, and we talk a lot about labor dispute and things like that. And those in and of themselves are not inherently interesting topics, except when they come to sports. They're very interesting. And as we progress with Agent Provocateur, what's going to be fascinating is the more you find out about the 2004-2005 lockout, the more you're going to really not like the players that essentially crossed the picket line. They didn't cross the picket line, but there are certain players, well-known players that you probably watched on TV, that really screwed it up for the guys today.
Cheney?
I don't know. There's one guy that comes to mind, and I'll give you the example is Jeremy Roenick.
Uh-huh.
Jeremy Roenick played a big role in the downfall of Bob Goodenow. And you have to remember, at that time, the Philadelphia Flyers had handed Jeremy Roenick, maybe a couple years before that, a big fat contract for $37.5 million over 5 years. And he didn't want to not make money on it. And so he and a group of players, and I don't even know if he was the ringleader of it, caused the lockout to end, and they accepted a hard salary cap. And that's why we're in the position we're in right now, with the boringness of the trade deadline and the flat cap world. And it's a shame. And I'm excited to move forward with this one, because the more we find out about the MLB, the more it relates to the NHL. And of course, you find out where the term free agency on this podcast was first actually invented.
Ooh.
And that was in the 70s.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. They had to go to court. They went to the Superior Court of the United States. Kurt Flood. Check it out. Yep. You'll check it out on the episode. Okay. If, Steve, you decide to listen.
I don't know. I'm blocked.
Are you actually blocked?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Still?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, we would ask him that.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
because
He didn't have a problem with you. He had a problem with
side broadcasts. Yeah.
It wasn't you, Steve. You don't have to take it personally.
I don't.
I think you do.
Anyway, great show. Highly encourage you to listen. All right. What else we got? Anything else?
That's it. I want to wrap with
Okay.
that great episode. It's quite a fantastic listen.
Jesse's saying it. He's the neutral party here, right?
I believe you.
Steve's never gonna listen.
No, he's not.
not gonna give
And you
us
know
the
what?
play.
You know what? Fair enough. Fair enough.
Oh, I got
it.
Noxie and Cass.
Yeah.
I got
Steve
Chris
J.
Johnston show.
You got Andrew.
I got Game Over.
You got other things.
I got lots of stuff.
All right. Hey, listen, thank you so much for listening. As always, we will see you Monday. We're looking forward to it. And hopefully,
What's wrong?
hopefully you make your bets on the game. I was thinking about Sports Interaction. SportsInteraction.com/STP. Do you think you'll make a bet this weekend?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. I want to see what you do. Leafs or Canucks? Go.
Mrázek.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake. Connection complete.